Hello. Welcome. I see a lot of Code Up staff members. Hi, Twee. Oh. We'll get started as soon as our panelists are here. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, we'll get started here in a little bit. Sorry for the delay, but I'm excited to get started. My name's Haley. Yay.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you. I was like messaging everybody, but I'm glad it worked.
I know Daniel and I were in the Google link, like, is this right? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was just me staring at myself for a little bit. And Daniel looks like he's maybe they'll have to switch him over to the, here he comes. Yay, technology. Sweet. Get everybody settled in. Oh, I love the background. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Like that.
Well, nice to meet y'all. I'm not sure if we've actually met. I'm the admissions manager for our full stack web development program at the San Antonio campus. So
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, y'all too. But welcome everyone in the audience, and for those that might be watching the recording later on, it's good to have y'all join us in this Doing Good in Tech event. Exciting to be part of San Antonio Startup Week. Always fun time. Like I just mentioned, my name's Haley. I'm part of the admissions team at CodeUp, and I'll be moderating today's panel, which is very exciting. Some of y'all might be familiar with CodeUp, but for those who aren't, we are a tech career accelerator located in a couple of different cities, but right now we're virtual. But basically we help adults transition their careers into either web development or data science. So we do this through our 22-week program where you'll learn all the technical skills, but we also have professional development and job placement services incorporated into the program. But our wonderful panelists today are two developers that have used their coding skills to do good in the world, whether that be, through volunteer work or their full-time job helping, create custom software, which I'll let them talk a little bit more about. Super excited to hear kind of y'all's roles. But to kick things off, I would love for our panelists to simply introduce yourselves, state your name, the year you graduated from CodeUp, and your current company and role. That would be perfect.
So my name is Stephanie Velazquez, and I graduated CodeUp almost 2 years ago now, so back in November 2018. And now I am a software engineer with Social Solutions. And what Social Solutions is we make software for nonprofit and public sector organizations. So some of our users are like case managers, job coaches, correctional officers, youth workers, and they all log into our software. What our software offers is a better way to collect data so that they can better understand the impact of their users and of their program.
Perfect. So general overview. Daniel? Oh, he's muted.
Sorry about that. My name is Daniel Browning, and I graduated with Stephanie from CodeUp in November 2018. I also work for Social Solutions, and I am a data engineer at Social Solutions.
Very nice. So perfect. Y'all both work at Social Solutions, and Steph did a really good overview of the company and its mission. So thank you. And I guess first question for y'all, kind of especially since y'all came through CodeUp, I'm not too familiar with y'all's former backgrounds, but were y'all always interested in working in tech? And if not, what were you doing prior to CodeUp, and how did you get involved with looking into transitioning into tech?
Well, for me, I've always kind of been interested in tech. Even in high school, I was always kind of tinkering with computers and exploring more of the physical side of like the hardware side of computers. And then once I got into college, that's when I really became interested in the software side of it. For me personally, I graduated not with a degree in computer science, but with psychology. That just seemed like I was really interested in the human brain, and I thought that maybe that would be a better career for me. But then after graduating, I was like, no, I think tech. I think tech, and I didn't want to go through the whole 4 years of college again because nothing from psychology really translated to computer science in the way of coursework. So I didn't want to start all over, and I knew that CodeUp had a really good background and good statistics for their placement. So I went to CodeUp, and so yeah, that's my story.
That's cool. We do have a lot of like former students, but also current students come from psychology backgrounds. I think that's pretty interesting. I think it'll help though as you start to work. What about you, Daniel?
So I also came from a psychology background. Psychology has just always been my bailiwick. I mean, ever since I was young, I would pick up psychology textbooks and just read them for fun. It was always a dream of mine to be like a family and marriage counselor. But I changed majors 6 times in college, and computer science was one of it was one of them, but I went back to it again. And by the time I graduated, I was a little older, and the track for becoming a therapist is an additional 2 to 3 years, and then you have interning requirements. And I had passed CodeUp in downtown, and I just woke up one day and said, I think I'll go to CodeUp today. And I mean, I researched it, it was great. And just the fast track is just a good alternative to the 4-year degree program. And so that's what really drew my interest. And I've always enjoyed tech and tech related items. But CodeUp really intensified that for me.
That's awesome. It's cool that you'll have pretty similar kind of backgrounds. Like, you've always been interested in tech, which I do think having that interest will help push you through the program for sure.
Really?
But Steph, you mentioned kind of the statistics in regards to our student placement and kind of working with our placement team. What did you go straight into working at Social Solutions, or were you working elsewhere before Social Solutions? I guess with my next question was just what kind of pushed you to decide to work for Social Solutions? That's a tongue twister.
It is.
Yeah. What drew you to the company?
I went directly from CodeUp to Social, and I remember that there were several partners that CodeUp brought in to interview with us. And I mean, immediately Social was like #1 on my list, mainly because of their mission and the fact that they were helping nonprofits and, public sector. And that's always been something that I wanted to do, was work in tech and fulfill my personal dream, but also to do something in the world that was not directly about me,
Yeah. Helping others, but through tech. That's cool. Perfect. What about you, Daniel? What kind of similar? Is that what drew you to Social? Or?
It was very similar. I had sat down with Steven, and he had mentioned that Social Solutions was coming, and we kind of briefly talked about the company. And when I researched it, the CEO at the time, Chris, had done a presentation at Columbia for 2018's Women in Business for CEOs. And her ideals for a work environment and just how she approaches, she was the CEO at the time, the company, just really drew me in, and I was really interested in the company values and just, the part of psychology in me that was drawn to wanting to help people was a good, I think, mix with, CodeUp Afterlife and in psychology.
Yeah, that's good that y'all found y'all's fit and y'all feel like y'all are really like making an impact. I think that's, everyone wants to make an impact, and it makes me happy that y'all get to feel that.
Definitely, yeah. Especially just coming right out of CodeUp too. I mean, we got really lucky with just
yeah, we did.
Really enjoy what we do.
Yeah, good. Do y'all mind just kind of talking about your role and kind of the work that you get to do and how you get to add to that company's mission? How maybe that's changed over the years since y'all worked there?
Yeah, so what I do is I work on a few of the APIs that feed directly into our software. So typically I'm working in TypeScript like React with Node, C#. We also do work with Docker and AWS. And you mentioned how has my role changed over the years. Initially, I wasn't working in APIs at all. I was working more in data. So I was working to create custom data pipelines with the data team. And my role has changed with the, I guess, with the initiatives of the company. So if the company feels that they don't want to go in a certain direction, then they kind of change the direction of our development. And then we have to learn new technologies and new frameworks. And so I think that it's really fluid working here, and we kind of have to be able to like kind of pivot and be agile like at a moment's notice. And I like that. I like being in different areas. But my personal I did love the data stuff that I was working on. Just a personal preference.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely some new skill sets that you mentioned from our curriculum, which I guess is exciting, getting to dabble in something new. What about you, Daniel?
So I was also similar to Steph. I started out on the data team with data pipeline work, and I transitioned over into reporting. So specifically, what my team focuses on is HMIS reporting for homeless management. And so that's something that clients really benefit from our software. Is that I was surprised to find that a lot of nonprofits still work with just normal pen and paper in terms of data management. And so our software allows clients to input all of their data for, say a homeless shelter can keep better track of all the participants that enter into the shelter and the various statistics that go along with the individual themselves. So that's kind of what I work on. As a result of COVID, our initiatives kind of change. And I think that social has done a great job at reflecting what the clients need and what's the next horizon for us to work on. So that's something that's been changing too as a result of COVID, which I think it's innovative what's coming up, I think, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, definitely having to be adaptive, which that's good. You kind of mentioned a project that you're getting to work on. Do y'all have like a favorite memory or favorite project that you like feel most proud about or kind of resonates with you?
Oh goodness.
I'd say curveball. I wasn't on the question. My bad.
No, for me it's back when Daniel and I were on the same team. when we first started social. They put us on the same team and we were working on data, and it was so fun. it was just for me personally, it was cool to work with Daniel and to work with data and just do that together. And I don't know, I like that.
Yeah, definitely that. And I think I really look, because we didn't do Python in CodeUp, but that was something that we ended up doing in social. And I really fell in love with Python as a language. And when I joined my new team, it was to help out with Python because we were converting one of our projects into Python. And we took on a new HMIS report called Path. And so I was there from start to finish when we built the Path report out in Python. So that's pretty exciting. And now our clients are able to run Path reports for HUD compliance. So that was pretty exciting to get to work on that, I think.
Yeah, that's big. Was it hard? Sorry, that's also another random question. Like learning a whole new language?
So I think that's something that CodeUp did a really good job of preparing us for, just because it's when we attended the boot camp, it was 4 months. I'm not sure if it's still 4 months or it might be a little longer now. But changing the various languages in the matter of 4 months, I mean, it was very fast paced, and it really sets you in a good path to be able to pick up languages quickly and what aspects to focus on for the new languages. And I loved Python, so that really helped, drive my ambition to learn that. But there were difficult moments for sure.
Definitely challenging moments. Good. Well, exciting. So you love data, you love Python. Sorry, Steph, did you have something to add? You unmuted, so I don't want to cut you off if you did.
Nothing in particular. Just thinking that CodeUp does teach you how to learn, and I think that was one of the most valuable things because now we have to do that all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially you just listed off at the very beginning different skill sets. I'm like, oh wow, impressive.
None of that was on the original.
Yeah. What did y'all say like a typical day looks like for you? Especially, I'm assuming y'all are working from home, or are y'all in the office?
We're working from home. We have the
Okay.
option to work from the office, but none of us do.
Yeah.
Well, there is one person on our team that does, but that's it out of a team of like 40 developers. Yeah.
They have the office to themselves.
Pretty much. I really enjoy working from home, and I think a lot of people working in tech agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is like a typical day look like?
Let me look at my calendar. So every morning we have our stand up. So that's when the team gets together and we just say, hey, we did this yesterday. Hey, we did this today. You need anything from me? I need something from you. And we just kind of meet up. And then we have the typical agile ceremonies. So we have to plan for the things that we're going to do in the upcoming sprints. And then I think that I'm fortunate enough that I don't have a lot of meetings. I do get a lot of time to focus on the work that I need to do. So I am lucky in that respect that I usually just have stand up and then maybe like an agile ceremony or two. And then that's really it. Sometimes if I'm working on a ticket that is particularly difficult or confusing, then I'll have like an impromptu meeting with a senior on my team. But other than that, like I kind of have pretty free days. So that's me.
And mine's pretty similar. So stand up is pretty standard, and the normal agile meetings like retro and planning. For me specifically, I mean, definitely need a couple cups of coffee to get me going in my day. I'll spend most of the day, we use Jira tickets for how we track our work and what needs to get done. So I usually will try and check off subtasks for tickets. And then if, we have a new project initiative coming, we'll do storyboard meetings where we storyboard, how the project will get planned out. And then we go through and create tickets in Jira to reflect the storyboard exercises. And then usually we do an end of day check-in just to say, hey, this is on track, because we usually plan every week, what days the tickets will get worked on, when things will go into PR for review. And that's usually a good, end of day sign off for our day.
Sounds like it just keeps y'all on track. That's nice.
Definitely,
it's like a to-do list, but fancier. I like that.
Yeah.
And the coffee, I feel like I'm drinking more coffee now that I've been working from home than I did when I was in the office. I don't know if that's just me.
Ew, yeah. I even started grinding my own coffee. I bought like a little grinder. I'm getting really into it now.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no one stopping me. I'm gonna drink all the coffee. Well, very cool. What is one piece of advice you'd give to someone looking to do good in tech? Have any advice?
For me personally, I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay. So for me, I would say, so you have your career and you know that you want to be in tech, and that's cool. That's great. I would say try and find a company that aligns with the values that you necessarily can't do on your own as an engineer or developer. So like, which is kind of the reason why I chose social, right? Because social, they pride themselves on transforming lives through case management, etc. And that's something that I can't do on my own. But by working for such a company, I can accomplish that. So it's like, how do you serve yourself and others? And I mean, that would be my advice, is just to seek out a company that really aligns with your values, whether it be like, I don't know, like something with the migrants or something like LGBT, like something that you're passionate about, like seek it out.
Yeah, that's good.
I think for me, I would say, really utilize the resources that can be available to you. I know Geekdom does a lot of things about giving back and various events you can attend. And, side projects. Like I know social has something called a hackathon where you're able to like, peer work with other people, and social actually allows us volunteer opportunities. So we have, our PTO hours, and then we have volunteer hours, which I think is really great. But just like Steph said, finding a company that really aligns with your values, and if you don't have that opportunity, readily available to you, all the resources that you can find available to you online, and through, Coda, Geekdom, that you could spend some of your free time with, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be my next question, was like, what other things outside of, the company can you utilize your tech skills with, which you mentioned, like the hackathons, and Geekdom does a lot of helpful volunteer opportunities. Have y'all done any hackathons or like side projects or anything?
Oh my, I did the Digital Ocean Hacktoberfest.
Ooh,
and you got a free t-shirt for it. You just had to search on GitHub for any open source projects that had issues open, and you go and you fix the issues. And then you go to the Hacktoberfest website, and then you tell them I fixed 5 issues, and then they send you your t-shirt.
Hey, was it cool shirt, I'm assuming?
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Daniel?
I haven't had much time to be able to pursue that. I'm a very, very much a Capricorn. So I will spend all day and all night just working. And there's, my team specifically has a lot of languages. So, we work in React, C#, Python, TypeScript, XML, a little bit of Java. So there's always an abundance of, Pluralsight courses and tutorials to go through, and really focused on that. But I've had teammates that have done the hackathon, and they really enjoyed, being able to do that. And definitely something I'm interested in pursuing in the future.
Yeah. Well, it's neat that y'all do get to work for a company where you feel like your work, even if it is, staying up super late doing your work, you kind of get that good feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But good advice though, Steph, of kind of like researching. How is that, like, are those questions that you would ask in an interview to kind of explore if that's, something that aligns with your values, or did you have to do a lot of like outside research on social before you like knew?
My personal style is I bring a notebook to every interview, including the one that I had for CodeUp. I brought like a notebook, and I have a set of questions I want to ask them. And so then when they ask at the end of the interview, like, do you have any questions for me? I like bring out my notebook. I'm like, yes. And so I will research before, like, what their website says, and then I'll kind of use that as key points to have them elaborate on whatever I'm interested in. So like their mission, like elaborate on your mission, elaborate on how the company gives back, and in what ways do they do that? Just like questions that I can't really Google, like only someone who works for the company would really understand.
Yeah, that's good. Daniel, similar kind of reading up on the website before going into the interview?
Yeah, definitely that. And then, like I said, I had watched Chris's Columbia talk, and just kind of went off from there. And, I was really just impressed with her overall, and the progressiveness of the company. And I think, like we said, we kind of lucked out with social, and that, the values were just upfront, and social prides themselves very well on being able to give back to the community. And it was, really easy to see that it was going to be a great fit.
Good. I'm glad y'all are happy. Y'all sound happy.
Yes.
Well, that's really most of my questions. I wanted to open up Q&A for the audience. If y'all have any questions, y'all can throw them in the chat. I know you can't talk to us directly, but we can answer them. Give them a couple of minutes. I have more questions. I can pull up questions. Okay. Well,
Yes, it is. It is Moira's wig wool.
For the recording, somebody asked, is that a Schitt's Creek background that Danielle has? Yes.
Yes.
Definitely approve of that. And do y'all work in, is y'all's company based in Austin, or where is it located?
Yeah, we're in Austin. We have some remote employees. Our company used to be based out of Baltimore, and when the company moved over to Austin, some people chose to stay in Baltimore and remain as remote employees. But the majority of us are in Austin. I mean, we're all remote now, right? But the majority of us are in Austin.
Okay, nice. Well, no traffic. Y'all don't have to drive. It's nice.
I know. I've saved like an hour off of my morning. Like, it's incredible.
It is good.
Even me, I chose an apartment that was 1 mile away, so traffic for me was a 4-minute commute.
Well, she get to be, is it downtown, I'm assuming?
Social?
It's public domain.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like northeast-ish.
Okay.
I think
It's pretty.
bad with directions, but yeah, I think.
Me too.
Yes.
Very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? I like those questions, Olivia. Okay. Well, I have another question. If you had all the power in the world and could remedy any issue through tech, what would you do?
It's really hard.
All the power and all the skills.
I think that for me, like, I have a passion in data, and I think if there was a way to really collect data successfully, because there's so many barriers to how we collect data successfully. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong. So if there was a perfect way to gather all this data, then people could better understand the impact of what it is. Two issues for me personally would be, I guess, the migrancy issues that I mentioned earlier through Central America. I mean, both my parents are immigrants, and so that's kind of something that's close to home for me. And so maybe if there was some way to collect data for that. I mean, as you're traveling through Central America, like, there is no way to keep track of any of that. I mean, sometimes there'll be like small little churches where they will register you just to say, hey, if your family's been here, then we can tell them that you were here, but that's it. It's just an absent or present sort of deal. There are so many different data points that if we could gather those and we could make sense of them, I think that there could be like a real difference. But there's lots of factors to that. It's a complicated answer and question.
No, I think that's a good one. Maybe in a few years, I mean, with technology the way it's going, maybe you could be part of that. That's pretty cool. What about you, Daniel?
I think mine would be a little more personal gain, just based off of an experience they had in life. But I would, and to build on Steph's point, I think data is, I'm a data boy, to the end. But improving communications between like vet and client, because I had a pretty bad experience during the year, where a vet had left the office for vacation and didn't update my pet's file, and she died of cancer. So it was about 2 weeks, and I feel like had that communication been better documented and something that I could have accessed myself, I would have had at least 2 additional weeks to try and fight for her life. And just, I would love to remedy that, because, and vets are, they're busy. Like, I understand, that they've got many clients. It's not just one client, but some sort of, option to be able to share, their own data with the clients themselves and whatnot, I think would be something that I would love to be a part of.
Yeah. I start thinking, like, how could we do that? Those are good. Those are really both things I haven't thought about, but it's data. It's the future.
Yes, data. I think
data is it's everything. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that rounds out my list. I'm kind of, if anybody else has any questions, throw them in the chat. I know this will probably go to people recorded. But do y'all have any closing remarks?
We are hiring.
Hey.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, we're hiring a mid-level software engineer and a senior data engineer. If you want to come work with us, you can.
Yeah, and y'all are getting to work from home, so that's a perk. Okay.
Yeah, and if you prefer to work in the office, that's definitely an option too to sign up for. Because I know some people, they have kids at home, and it's easier to be able to get away into an office. So they've definitely opened that up and taken a lot of precautions, which I think is a great option to have.
Yeah, kind of detach. Well, good. Well, I'll pass that information along. I think that what it sounds like, awesome kind of work that y'all are getting to do, and have to read more about it as well. So thank y'all. This has been really fun. I know we've never officially gotten to speak to each other. I think, Steph, I saw you on like a video of something, so this is fun. But yay, I'm happy. I'm glad everybody got to tune in, and if you have questions, you can always reach out to CodeUp. I would say that y'all's LinkedIn profile, but I won't do that. Reach out to CodeUp directly and I can help out. But thank y'all for your time, Steph and Daniel. This has been fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't even know what time it is. Alrighty.
Time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.